Coach, after the injuries to your offensive linemen, you went almost exclusively with Ed Collins and Matt Lee there on the left side. What did you think of their performances?
They both played really well. Obviously, these young guys did some things that they're going to learn from, but I thought they played hard. They competed. They played with pretty good technique, and for the most part, operated as far as the communication piece when we were hatting the right people. So proud of what they did.
Josh, now that you've had time to look at the tape and everything, what do you guys need to – was there anything that jumped out that concerned you, I guess, from the second half of that game that you guys really need to work on?
Penalties and execution. So, I said it after the ball game, right? Your mentality, your mental approach to the game, you better be on edge. And at times in the second half, obviously, I don't think we were on edge. So we got to learn from that. We got to be a whole lot better. But the penalties during the course of the game, pre-snap and post whistle penalties can't happen. We can't do that. Special teams, we can be and need to be better than we were. So a lot of areas that we can improve in all three phases of the game. At the same time, you appreciate every win.
I think UCF, at home this year, it's something like average of 41-3 halftime scores. Just coming back in the second half sometimes when you have leads and, half the stadium seems to empty, is it hard to kind of keep the players focused and engaged in a game like that?
I think as a competitor, no matter where you're at, home or road, no matter what the score is, you got to learn how to play every play. And you only get so many opportunities. You better have the right approach mentally, physically, put yourself in position to be successful. Our kids got to be more mature competitors. And there's some things that East Carolina did as well. But we can do a better job of controlling what we control.
Josh, you had talked about physical game afterwards, how you lost a lot of guys that were coming off the field.
I think you get into conference play, every game's going to be physical, and just – this is a physical game, right? So we got some guys that were nicked up. I do feel like we're going to get almost all those guys back.
So no update on guys like Greg McCray and any of the offensive linemen?
Greg will not be available for this one, but I believe everybody else will be.
Does that also include Neville Clark, who did not play?
Yeah. Yep.
It felt like there were a ton of injuries. So you're saying you're feeling good about that? Right now, everybody's.
Do I feel good about guys getting nicked up during the game? No, I don't. No, I do feel like everybody will be back and ready to play for this one. Absolutely.
Coach, can you speak a little bit more specifically about Matthew Lee and his progress for a true freshman to be in position to play meaningful reps like that?
Yeah, pretty cool for a kid that grew up, a couple blocks from here. That his dad went to school here, played here, and has dreamed of being a Knight. Right, come in as a freshman. Really strong, really smart kid, and just pushes himself absolutely every single day and has gotten better every day. He's played center, obviously he's played guard, has great versatility, as you look down his career, but played with good technique and played really strong inside.
Dylan's performance as he continues to grow week in and week out, what do you see from him right now?
Great first half, decisive, accurate. I think, last week you saw him make some plays with his feet. He's fully capable of doing those things. Sometimes it just takes a kid a little longer to trust himself, you know what I mean? I think, young quarterbacks, guys that are used to making plays with their feet, they got to learn how to stay inside the pocket some. And guys that are used to making plays from the pocket, got to learn how to use their feet a little bit. He's capable. He did a really good job on most of the night of the Reed game, and we're able to get the ball in the perimeter with him a little bit.
Do you see an opportunity maybe for Darryl again to get some more work in this game?
Yeah, I think, when opportunities present themselves, DJ went in there and played really solid football. So, potentially we'll see both as we continue down the road.
So possibly with Greg being out, obviously that might open up more work for Bentavious, and he got a lot of work in this game. What did you think about?
Yeah, one of the young guys. We talked about the offensive lineman here a little bit earlier, but one of the young guys that has played a lot of special teams football, right, and has gotten some opportunities at running back, typically at the end of ball games, but stepped in and played really well. Did a great job in protections. Obviously, the big fourth down run, but executed well all night long. Took good care of the football. A guy that everybody inside of our program trusts. Being there in the backfield.
What do you see from Temple? Obviously, this seems like a very competitive team from the outside.
They are. They make you earn it. defensively looking at them as an overall culture, they're big physical guys, and a lot of guys that we played against a year ago. They're well coached and play really hard.
With Temple, having Rod Carey coming from Northern Illinois, I know they have half a season to tape at Temple, but in a situation like that, he was there for a long time. In the summer, do you go back and maybe look at tendencies and things that maybe he'd like to do at his previous stop?
A little bit of that, but I think every situation is different because your personnel is different, right? And as a coach, your job is to put the personnel that you have in the best position to be successful. So you have an overall scheme, but subtly you're going to be different to try to put your kids in the best position to be successful.
You look at Gabe Davis and the kind of season he's had. What stood out to you about what he's done, just both on and off the field?
One, just consistency. I think since I've gotten here, right on the field, production, been at a really high level, certainly this season. But I think just his consistency and how he approaches every day, and I've said it multiple times standing up here, he's the first one in the building. He's going to try to beat the quarterbacks in the building, and he's going to be the last one off the practice field, and that's how he approaches everything. He's very purposeful and understanding what he wants to do each week, this year, and long-term in the game of football. So great work habits, really talented player too, and highly competitive.
I know how hard it is to win in the league and college football in general, but
it is. Just got to look at scoreboards every week, and you can see that.
Do you want your guys to be disappointed at all with the final result from Saturday?
Disappointed would not be a word that I would use at all. I think you walk in the locker room, you only got so many opportunities. You appreciate every win, and it takes everybody inside that room pulling together to go accomplish that thing. I do want them when they come back on Monday to be real about what they see on the tape, take coaching, and implement it into the game and make improvements. I told the guys today, we've done a lot of really good things. The thing we have not done is play 3 phases of the game at the level that we're capable of for 60 minutes. And that's a challenge for us this week, going and playing a really good football team on the road.
Another player who hasn't played recently, Randy Charlton, he was on the sideline, we saw that, but is he going to play this week?
Yeah, I believe he'll be available this week as well.
Josh, you go into this week. It's another road game. Obviously, the last 2 road games didn't work out the way you guys wanted them to. What do you guys have? Do you do anything differently, maybe, to change the energy for the team when they go on the road this time around?
I think the biggest thing is controlling the things that we can control when we get on the field. Our guys prepared in a really good way in those 2 ball games. Came up a couple of plays short. It starts with turnovers, right? Another part of the story is penalties. So that's the challenge for us: take care of the football, try to create some turnovers, win the field position battle. Part of that is special teams and turnovers, or special teams and penalties. Excuse me.